So welcome to our handwriting practice. I've got some lines like we use in our handwriting books at home, but don't worry if you've just got regular lines. I would recommend having lines to write on. It's much easier than writing on blank paper because then you'll get all your letters the correct size. First of all, make sure you're sitting comfortably, and also make sure you've got your pencil grip correctly. You can see in my grip here, I've got the pen held between my thumb and forefinger, and my third finger is being used as a rest underneath. My final two fingers just curl underneath to rest my hand on. Okay, so family 3 of our handwriting letters is the C family. They all have this motion in them, and they all move anti-clockwise. That's really, really important, because if we don't have the anti-clockwise movement, we won't be able to join up the letters later on. So making sure you're holding your pencil properly in between your thumb and forefinger and resting on your middle finger. Let's give these letters a go. Let's begin with the letter C. So pencil on the line as always. So we're curving round to the top. That's the initial movement you want to make, the initial mark on your paper. It looks a bit like a C wave. And then it goes back round and finishes on the line. But of course we don't want to take our pencil off the paper at all. So pencil on the line, hook it over the top, back round the other side. Hook it over the top, back round and under. We want to aim to have our pencil finishing just about on that line there. Once we've done a letter C, then a letter A is easy. It begins with that letter C and then it goes up and down with a little flick. You should be able to see a little V shape at the top there. That's why we want the C to end just under the line, so that when we go to do that straight bit of the letter A, we get that tiny V shape at the top. Round and hook it, back round, up, down. And it's a straight line, it's not going round to meet the letter C, where we need to make sure that we're finishing it there so that we can go up, down and finish. Moving on from a letter A D is the next letter we want to write. We're going to start off with a C, we're going to change it into an A, we're going to keep going up to the top, back down, put your flick on. C, straight up, straight down, flick. There's that letter C, straight up, straight down, finishing on the line as always. Now let's do a letter G. It starts in exactly the same way. It starts with that letter C. It's like making a letter A, but instead of going all the way up to the top, we're going to go all the way to the bottom and put a hook on. Letter C, up, down and under. And letter C, up, down and under. That line needs to be straight down. It's got a hook on the bottom, just like a letter J. When we can do a G, then a Q is almost exactly the same. Up, down, straight to the bottom this time and kick. Letter C, straight up, straight down to the bottom and kick. And again, you can see those little V shapes at the top that we get from making that initial line round. Up, down, flick. There goes my doorbell. C, A, D, G, Q. The next one is a letter F. It's still got that movement in it, but this time we're going to go above the line to make that C shape, straight back down to the line and put a cross on. It's almost as tall as a letter T. Letter S comes next. Again, it's got that letter C shape, and this time I'm going to squash that S in between those two, middle line and the bottom line. It doesn't join on, it finishes here. The last letter in the C family is the letter O. Starting on the line, making a letter C, then it goes back to the top and we put the flick at the top. It has a horizontal join. Letter C, round to the top and a horizontal join. Letter C, back to the top and a horizontal join. Next we need to have a go at some letter patterns just to make sure that we're getting our letter sizes correct and the orientation and the movement of our pencils. So let's try a C and an O. A C and an O, always with that anti-clockwise movement. Fs are always tricky, so let's try an F and an S. An F and an S, always trying to make sure that your letters are exactly the same size and exactly the same shape each time you write them. Let's have a go at the capital letters now. Capital letters always sit between the top line and the bottom line. Letter C is just like writing a lowercase c, but it's twice as big and it doesn't have a leading line. Letter A needs 3 strokes, top to bottom, and then across the middle. A letter D, top to bottom, back to the top, taking your pencil off before you put his big fat tummy on. A letter G is like doing a letter C, but then we go straight up to the middle and in. A letter Q, the anti-clockwise, it's like doing a letter O. A letter F, top to bottom, and then put the cross bits on. A letter S is just like a lowercase s, but it's twice as big and doesn't have any leading lines. And finally, that letter O, the anti-clockwise, circle them back to the top. So now we can write most of our letters. C, A, D, G, Q, F, S, O from the C family. R, N, M, H, B, K, P from the R family, and right back at the beginning, I, L, T and J. This time, instead of writing as many words as you can with all those letters, although you can give it a go, I'm going to challenge you to write words containing these letters. So how many words can you think of with O-I in them? How many words can you think of with O-A in them? How many words can you think of that have that digraph K, that CK in them? What about words containing sp and words containing the digraph I? I'll start you off. I thought of coil and oak and Jack, because of course we've already had Jill. Spin, that sp could go at the beginning or the middle or the end of your words. And last of all, hi. So keep practicing, keep practicing, keep practicing. Practice makes perfect. We're nearly there. We've learnt nearly all our letters now. Carry on, give it a go. Well done, everybody.